but how are we going to continue to professionalize our field if we're not talking about us, the practitioners?
Hey, this is Matt Markin, and we're still here at the 2019 Annual NACADA Conference in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm here with Craig McGill. Craig, how you doing?
Hey, Mark. Matt? Mark? Luke?
It could be any. I go by anything. Mark's fine.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. So we're here at the conference, and so those that are watching who may not know you, what do you do? Where do you work?
Well, I am a postdoctoral research scholar, I think is my official title, at the University of South Dakota. I've been there a little over a year. I was an academic advisor for about 10 years. During the course of that time, I worked through a graduate degree and a doctorate, and now I'm looking to become a faculty member working in higher ed, student affairs, academic advising, adult education, all of that fun stuff.
Fancy. So at University of South Dakota, what mascot are you?
Go Yotes, or the Coyotes.
Did you know that at Cal State San Bernardino, where I work, we're also the Coyotes?
I did, as of like a month ago.
Facts. So at this conference, are you presenting? What are you doing?
I am. I'm presenting several things. I was very fortunate to get a lot of my work in. This morning I did, we were doing collaborative autoethnography with Drew Puraway and Mark Duslick.
Not me.
Yeah, I think that's why I messed up your name. So we're looking at we for about 4 years we've been examining our professional socialization experiences to the field of academic advising, and we've just continued to reflect and to analyze these experiences. And so we presented where we're currently at right now, and wanted to kind of get a feel for what other folks were thinking, and to see how the model that we're about to kind of put forward about our own experiences, not generalizable, kind of resonates with people, because this is a really important topic. For one, we don't talk in our literature about advisors enough. You know, talking about students that's an important thing to do, but how are we going to continue to professionalize our field if we're not talking about us, the practitioners? So I situate it kind of in the broader body of my work, which is on the professionalization of academic advising, which is contentious, but it doesn't have to be.
So that's one presentation right there?
Yeah.
And you have?
I have a total of 4. So we're looking at graduate programs. So Kansas State University was the first graduate certificate in academic advising in 2003. In 2008, they offered the first master's degree. And as of next fall, they're starting a PhD in the emphasis is in academic advising, but from what I understand, the degree is not called that. But anyway, in the last 5 or so years, a number of other graduate certificates have popped up in academic advising. So we're looking at those. We've done kind of a content review of these different programs and kind of asking what this means for the field. Are we a field of study? Are we an academic discipline? People have opinions about that, and they should. But there really hasn't been too much written since the journal editors at the time in 2008 kind of posed this in an editorial. And not too many people have picked up on it since, but we're doing a content analysis, and we currently have an IRB under review at 3 different institutions, which is tricky. That's taken about 5 months because of the complexities of working with 3 different institutions. So we're going to be presenting on kind of our progress on that so far. The other 2 are more social justice related. We've got a panel on the experiences of LGBTQ students majoring in the STEM disciplines. And so although we're going to introduce the topic, it's going to be the students and their experiences. And then a final project is we responded to an edit to a special issue for an adult education journal examining critical whiteness. So with three of my colleagues, we're all leaders, broadly defined, in NACADA, and this has been an issue, and it's a very important issue to talk about. When you look at NACADA leadership, it's not representative of the experiences of all people. And we need to continue to talk about this. And so what we did in this project was to look at, we're all white men, and to think about what that means in terms of allyhood and advocacy, and what are our responsibilities in this broader context around race and gender privilege. So
definitely a lot going on, a lot of maybe some changes that are going to be happening hopefully soon. So in that case, what advice would you give members who are looking to get more involved, maybe within leadership, since NACADA is about the inclusion and diversity of the organization?
I think talking to people at in the conferences or getting involved, how I got my start, Matt, was honestly in the advising communities and finding a niche area that you're interested in, and that's a good way to get started, to join the steering committee, to read proposals for the annual conference, and to contact the chair for that community. I think there are other ways you can get started, of course, but I think that's a really good one because it can connect to a topic that you're specifically interested in. So it's hard. I can only maybe say what I've done, but anyway.
Yeah, well, even your experience, I think people can get something from that. So, well, you got a lot going on. I know you're a busy person. You got some more presentations you got to take care of before the end of the conference, but definitely appreciate.
Look for opportunities, and sometimes they're extremely unexpected. So when I moved to Miami, Florida, 7 years ago now. I lived there for 6 years. They needed a Florida state representative. Now, I was maybe 3 years in NACADA and thought, someday I might want to be a Florida state representative. So I put my name in the hat, completely expecting to lose. And I was the only person in the hat. And so I became the Florida state representative. And then, I panicked, of course, my natural response. But then what I did was I just talked to people all over the state about issues around advising within the state of Florida. And I got to learn the state of Florida much better. So wherever you are, just be on the lookout. And I would say don't be afraid to take chances. I mean, that's to paraphrase Brene Brown. It's not really paraphrasing. It's actually quoting. Dare greatly, take chances. So.
And I will say that I have taken that advice. I've done that. And, there's challenges and struggles with doing new things, but sometimes there's a big payoff with it. So, yeah. But thank you, Craig. I know you're still a busy person. Got to get prepped, but appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.